Hey guys, I thought I'd make this video to talk about the maps in Black Ops, something I wanted to do for a while, but I always forget to do so. Now, if you recall the last bundle I uploaded for Call of Duty 4, you might have remembered I said that I had confidence in Treyarch for delivering in the map design department. I enjoy their maps in World at War a hell of a lot better than any of Infinity Ward's maps in either Call of Duty 4 or Modern Warfare 2. Fast forward to Black Ops. After many weeks and probably 3 months in or so of playing Black Ops, I can't really say I like any of the maps in Black Ops so far. I don't particularly hate any maps, but to me they just don't stand out. In a positive way, I mean. If I were to describe my taste in Black Ops maps, it would be exactly like Call of Duty 4. I'm completely neutral towards them. I don't hate any particular map, but again, I also don't like any either. World at War still has my favorite set of maps, or at least a bunch that I do like, and while I did dislike certain maps in that game, at least there were a couple maps that stood out to me, which include Hangar, Airfield, Roundhouse, Nightfire, Upheaval, Castle. I mean, come on, you just cannot argue against Castle. That was probably the best map Treyarch ever made. It was the most balanced, and it perfectly suited all gun classes, even shotguns. And Airfield is an example of how you make large maps without making it too large to the point where you spend most of your time trying to find people. And those two were two of my absolute favorite maps of all time. And it's really a shame that none of the Black Ops maps hold a candle to World at War's maps. To be fair though, none of the World at War maps would work with Black Ops engine and game mechanics. Just like how Call of Duty 4 maps and Modern Warfare 2 did not work for the exact same reason. It's a good thing Treyarch does not intend to bring back any maps from World at War in their downloadable content, but I do hope that the maps in the downloadable content are much more balanced than the current ones in Black Ops, where a good majority of them are mostly favored towards close quarters kind of combat instead of long range and variety with everything but submachine guns and assault rifles. Also, my preference for maps is really on a game mode basis. For example, I play Team Deathmatch a lot in World at War, as well as War, but I almost always guarantee to that Team Deathmatch almost every time. The maps are absolutely perfect for Team Deathmatch, but when it came to close quarters maps such as Dome and Station, of course those maps were running gun maps and imbalanced for anything other than submachine guns. When it came to maps like Silo, Downfall, and Airfield, I'm guaranteed to be sniping. The point is, World at War offered both balanced and extreme maps. The balanced maps, you could use any gun class except for shotguns, but if you're lucky, of course you can use shotguns and still dominate. And then you have the extreme maps, which cater to either close quarters or sniping. There's no real extremes in Black Ops. Almost every map, even the large ones such as Array and Jungle, they favor assault rifles most of the time. And then when it came to War, the maps that would be extreme, such as the close quarters and sniper maps, they started becoming a lot more balanced, meaning that while some gun classes would still be preferable on that sort of map, you could honestly use any gun and still do well. This is why I love War and World at War, because it reduced any inherent advantages certain gun classes had on particular maps, and it made that map much more balanced for all gun classes, except for, again, shotguns, because it took until Modern Warfare 2 for the shotguns to be really useful. But of course, if you have war maps like Dome, using a submachine gun would still be widely preferred over using a semi-auto rifle or sniper rifle. Also, much like Headquarters or Demolition, the spawns in war are preset relative to the objective, and if you get too close to an enemy spawn, they spawn elsewhere. However, in my opinion, war is much better balanced than either Headquarters or Demolition. And we're at war, I mean. I didn't like playing Search, Headquarters, or Domination we're at war because these modes and the overall objectives made the maps much more imbalanced. In Search and Destroy, you could pretty much expect a lot of people using the MP40 Juggernaut, or even MP40 Suppressor with Camouflage. Also, Bouncing Betties which were really good in World War. They became really annoying, and Bomb Squad was pretty much a necessity if you didn't want a cheap death from a Bouncing Betty. And then Headquarters and Domination, it's still hard to play either of those because if you don't have a submachine gun, you're absolutely gimping yourself. Even on maps, in really large maps of Domination like CeeLo, you pretty much should be using a submachine gun because it's the only way you have a fighting chance. But when it comes to Team Deathmatch and War, the maps are very balanced except for the extreme ones. And overall, I like the maps in World War much better than in Black Ops. Now, in Black Ops, Domination is my favorite and #1 game mode that I play. I mean, you can look at my channel and find that most of the gameplays I upload are all related to Domination. To me, I think that's one thing Treyarch got right in Black Ops. Domination in Black Ops, in my opinion, is much better than in any of the previous games because there are no real spawn trap maps. Thanks to running gun style Black Ops, Domination matches are much more reasonable. I find that people who are losing can actually fight back, and the people who are killstreak horrors usually aren't always going to have a good game. And it's not like in Call of Duty 4 or Modern Warfare 2, where getting an enemy team into a spawn trap guarantees the victory. In Black Ops, I find people who constantly bust their ass off trying to get the B flag when it's capped by the other team. And when they do get it, it shows that holding B at the beginning isn't always smooth sailing to victory. It just helps a lot in Black Ops, whereas capping the B flag determined who was going to win in the previous games. I like the maps a lot better when it's Domination because the overall map design in Domination is relatively balanced. There are a few maps that are kind of imbalanced, including Havana and Newtown for Domination, but for all the other maps, I don't see them as imbalanced at all in Domination when I play them. That's where I think the map design in Black Ops is excellent, for the only game mode I'm guaranteed to play. Now, when it comes to regular Team Deathmatch, I automatically despise certain maps. Launch, Firing Range, Newtown, Cracked, Summit. These are just a few of the maps I despise in Team Deathmatch because of how quickly the spawns are flipped. It's even worse when a couple of maps in Team Deathmatch only have 2 spawn points, and that's in relation to the teams who spawn on either side of the map. I guess I wasn't really talking about the maps too much in this commentary. But overall, again, I have a neutral stance towards Black Ops maps. I don't hate them, but I don't like them that much either. But then when I play Domination, I usually don't mind whatever map that I play in, unless it's Newtown, because Newtown is not very good for objective games at all. So we are arriving at the end of this gameplay, and I go 49-6. No chopper gunner, no super high level kill streak, just a nice solid 3-5-7. I have a good game, and it's game over. Cheese out!